Hey, this is Brandon, and in this video, we'll learn how to create a watercolor effect in Inkscape. First, if we have an object selected, we can apply a simple watercolor effect to it using the watercolor filter. To do this, we go up to the Filters menu, then down to Textures and choose Watercolor. However, the default settings for this can be a bit too intense. And if we apply it to a more complex shape like a star, it can completely ruin the shape. To fix this, we'll need to change a couple of the filter settings, which we can do using the filter editor. To open the filter editor, we can go back up to Filters and choose Filter Editor here at the bottom. Okay, so first at the left here, we have a list of all the filters that we're using. We currently have two filters that are both called Watercolor and are each connected to a single object. The selected filter is the one connected to our currently selected object. Okay, and in the list on the right, we have all of the effects that have been combined together to create the watercolor filter. As you can see, the filter requires quite a few effects, but fortunately, we only need to concern ourselves with a couple of them. First is the topmost effect, Gaussian blur. This is what gives the filter a blurry appearance. By default, the blur effect is a bit too strong, and to decrease it, we can go down here to the Effects Parameter tab and decrease the standard deviation value. Alright, now we can once again tell that our shape is actually a star, but the problem now is that the filter isn't filling the entire shape anymore. To fix this, we need to go down to the Displacement Map effect here and decrease its scale value. And we can actually bring this all the way down to 0. That looks pretty good now, but I think the edges are a bit too smooth. To roughen them a bit, we can add the Roughen filter to the object by going to Filters, Distort, Roughen. This brings up the Roughen dialog, where we can adjust the settings of the filter. When we change the settings in the filter dialog, Inkscape will save the settings, so next time we open up the same dialog, it will load up the settings that we used previously. I've already adjusted the Roughen settings before, so mine are likely quite different from yours. If we check Live Preview down here, we can see what the current settings will look like. What we mainly want is to have the turbulence type set to fractal noise, and the intensity to be kind of low. Other than that, we can play around with the other settings until we get something we like. Okay, when we have something that looks good, we can apply the filter by clicking the Apply button down here, and now we can close out of this dialog. Okay, and as you can see in the filter editor, even though we added the Roughen filter to the object, it still only has the watercolor filter connected to it. This is because an object can only have a single filter connected to it at one time, and whenever we apply another filter from the Filters menu, it simply adds the effects of that filter to the bottom of the effects list. So we now have these three new effects here that form the Roughen filter. Alright, now because we've customized the current filter, we can change the name of it to distinguish it from the original watercolor filter. To do this, we can click the filter's name in the list and type something else, like New Watercolor, and press Enter. Next, if we want to apply our new watercolor filter to a different object, we can select the object and check the box next to New Watercolor in the list. We can also change the colors of the objects. One thing to note is that if we move an object somewhere else and release the mouse, the filter will recalculate, changing the appearance a bit. If we don't want this to happen, we just need to slightly resize the object. Now moving it won't recalculate the filter. Another thing we can do is create a watercolor brush. For this, I'll create another small rectangle and I'll make it black. Then I'll apply the new watercolor filter to it by checking the box next to it in the filter editor. And I'll go ahead and close out of the editor now. Now I'll turn the rectangle into a path by going to Path, Object to Path. Then I'll go to the Node tool and select the two nodes on the right side. Next, I'll toggle on this button up here to show the transformation handles. Then I'll grab one of these arrows, hold Shift, and move the nodes closer together. Alright, now I'll go back to the Select tool and copy the object by right-clicking it and choosing Copy. Next, I'll go to the Pencil tool, change smoothing up here to something higher like 30 so the paths will be smoother, and I'll change the shape setting here to Bin from Clipboard, which will use the copied object to shape the paths. And now I have a watercolor brush. I can change the width of the selected path either by adjusting the scale setting up here or by going to the Node tool and adjusting this node here. If If I go back to the pencil tool and draw another path, it continues using the new width. I can also change the color of the original watercolor object, copy it again, and use the pencil tool to draw paths using the new color. Alright, so that's how we can create a watercolor effect in Inkscape. Thanks for watching.